Don't forget to stick around through the end of the video for information on our Arrive Serpentor Arrive giveaway. Boba Fett, one of the most recognizable, if not the most recognizable bounty hunter in the Star Wars universe, found himself smack dab in the middle of an epic miniseries called The War of the Bounty Hunters. Only he didn't necessarily want to be easily recognized. Now, as we all know, his suit and helmet are unmistakable, from the gray and green, red and yellow, his braided hair trophies adorning his shoulder, or maybe a massive dent in his helmet thanks to an equally skilled and well-known bounty hunter named Cad Bane. With so many identifiable features, how could someone fight undercover while not losing access to their most trusted armor, his father's armor? I see an armor and I want it painted black. Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan, aka JK of JK Collection. Remember, I'll be posting new videos at least twice a week, if not more. And if that sounds of interest to you, please click that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Now in this episode, we are taking a closer look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Boba Fett in disguise. Hey everyone, welcome back, and here we have it, the War for the Bounty Hunters Boba Fett in disguise for the Star Wars Black Series line. What a cool package for it, right? I mean, he went dark in color, so they went dark with the packaging, right? It's kind of a foil type look to it. Still feels pretty well paper. I mean, look at this artwork on the back, and of course we've got good old Disney. I am a fan of Disney, so yeah, hey, welcome back, Bob Iger. Not a moment too soon. I like this artwork on the back. It's a little difficult to see right on the screen, but it is Boba Fett right in the middle of battle with the carbonite cast right behind him. Look at that. Man, oh man, he is right in the middle of it. And then I like just this way that it looks like a book, right? So any of these that come in this packaging, right, from the extended mythos or whatever, even embraced by Disney, so that's cool to see, right? Adding this to the canon, if you will. But it's neat how like the ones like this are going to stand side by side in like a collection of books, as they should, right? So there's a lot of stuff from like comic books or book series, and then you can see just like all kinds of cool stuff from artwork that's going on there. Very neat. But let's open this up, right? Oh man, I'll tell you, that Velcro is something. So just be careful with that. If you do get this and you are opening it up to look at it, as that Velcro is pretty stiff and it'd be easy to bend the cardboard as a result and damage the paper. Here's more artwork in the side, a little bit of the Boba Fett in disguise, some explanation from it, him right in the middle of action. And just opening it up, look at how cool this is. Right? I mean, it's a Boba Fett in black. That's all it is, right? There's nothing special to it. There's nothing unique or crazy going on, but it is totally awesome, I gotta say, especially if you get the white one, right? The prototype one from when they were first planning him out for the movies, and they thought he'd be like a trooper leader. I don't know if you've seen the little show about it on Disney Plus, but it's definitely cool to check out, a little documentary. But okay, and this one does not have plastic, right? So it looks like it might, but it doesn't. You can immediately touch the figure. So take that for whatever you want. Let's figure out how to get into it. Okay, looks like maybe here. Yeah. All right, let's figure this out together, as we normally do. Hopefully nobody cringes too much at me opening this, because I know this one was tough to get, but what I noticed in my ability to get it here is that it went back up on sale on Hasbro Pulse, so that is what gave me the ability to pick one up. So just kind of keep your eyes open. If you are not subscribed to their email notifications, definitely do so, because they'll tell you when there's a back in stock that's happening, and that was how I was able to grab one. But you know what? I'm probably telling you something you already know. So we'll pull that tray out, empty box, so I'm going to move that to the side very carefully, and then there's our guy. Nothing in bags, right? It's all tied, even with black ties. What an extra added little detail to it, right? So I really wish that I could just untie all of these, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna cut them, because that's what we're here for. We are here to get into this so everybody can take a closer look with me and help decide if you want to open yours when you get one or not. All right, let's get all these little pieces of paper, string, I don't really know what to call them, paper ties that we've got. Okay, I think we've got everything just about loose. Yep, stuff's ready to come falling out. So this came out. That is part of the paper ties. I'm just trying to double check and make sure that I don't have any fun lines or anything that are popping loose, and I confuse it for these little these paper tie downs. Did I miss one? I did. Of course I did. I always miss one. So let's untie this one just to see how difficult it is. Thank you for your patience as we bust into this Boba Fett in disguise, getting through these black ties, or the paper ties also in disguise. Okay, so there we go, and old Boba, oh yes, we've got a cloth goods cape, so I am happy to see that. I mean, I know, that's not really anything amazingly new or anything like that, but it is still cool to see, and there he is. All right, well, let's take a look at the accessories first. So here is this gigantic, would we call this a halberd? Yeah, maybe. Is that what we would call it? But we've got it, and it is in black. It is cast in that, it's almost like a dark gray the way that it comes through. But it gives it a little bit of a shine. It's a softer, rubbery plastic, especially on the blade and on the tips down here. The handle feels like it's a little bit more solid, but yeah, it's all just that cast plastic. No additional paint apps or anything like that to it, which is good, right? You know, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It needs to be a solid color because that's the idea, and there's less aptitude for any paint apps to come off. Fixed rocket, so you know, we're still in that world. The boosters do not seem like, oh, you know, I don't know if I'm not comfortable enough to say that these do move, and that I'm not just bending plastic. I think I might potentially be bending plastic. So, you know, nothing really special about this rocket pack. It's the same thing that we've seen, no additional articulation or anything like that to it. Of course, no paint apps. It's just, it is the thing that it is. One thing that I would much prefer to see were these not looking like they were filled in, right? Looking like they were open and ready to be actual boosters. But it almost looks like something was stuck in there right before it was thrown into the mold to make those not have that depth and look like they were actual little booster jets. Anyway, I'm not there to design these things. And here is the handgun, the laser. Let's shift to manual because this thing's small and doesn't want to pick it up. And this is in a very dark gray cast plastic. Let's see. Yep. Same, almost practically the same, probably the same plastic that the halberd was done in. If I'm calling it the wrong thing, if there's a special name in the Star Wars mythos for that, please let me know. But there we go. There's our Nintendo blaster turned into a Star Wars weapon. At least that's certainly what it looks like, right? But the Boba Fett sidearm, right? So there we go. And it is cast in that dark gray plastic. And we don't need any paint apps because it is supposed to be in disguise. And this is just cool, right? So there's the standard texture of Boba Fett works out. And I'll tell you, normally I point out the fact that when it's cast black plastic, there's those points where the finish is different, right? So you can have like a matte and a little bit of a gloss. But to me, it kind of works for this, right? Because if you quickly spray paint something black, like we would assume he did, it's going to have, you know, it's not going to be perfect. The finish is going to be weird. It's going to be a little bit wonky. There's going to be parts where it's a little bit thicker. So I think it just kind of honestly adds to this because you would think it would just be a little quick DIY job in the middle of the ship, or maybe he stopped somewhere and did it just to hide. You know, it gives that look, and I appreciate that. But again, we're not really looking at anything new. So, you know, functionality, flexibility, we're dealing with all the same articulation. The neck attached to the torso. The head does have very good up and very good down. And it is that solid piece, not the one that has the faux head underneath. The shinier black for the visor, very well done, right? I don't really see any overlap to it, but a benefit is it'd be hard to see anyway because it's black on black. And we've got funky little things going on there. There's our dent. Rangefinder, I would have loved to have seen that be mobile, right? So some of the newer Mandalorian helmets do have that where it will move. Just one little added bit of extra detail that's nice, right? A little bit more interactivity to the figure to give it a more realism. And then just the cloth goods, right? It's just a piece of fabric that's creased. So, you know, hey, maybe a quick ironing or something to give it some shape. It would be great to have a wire in that cape. I always add that and say that, but hey, we've got a great opportunity for those aftermarket developers, so I'm sure it's coming if it hasn't already. because they are always on top of that, and I do appreciate their creativity. I love picking up stuff from them. Anyway, so there we go. And, you know, same mobility that we've seen with other figures. Nothing changed. This is definitely the older design of Boba Fett. One thing that I can see is there's no lines over here connecting the elbow, but there is still one line connecting this, but it does seem to have a good bit of slack in it, so I can bend the elbow without pulling on that line too much. So that is a more updated version than what I've seen in some of the other ones that I've picked up. So I'm happy to see that, just that one line. I don't have to worry too much about dealing with the flexibility, but it doesn't really matter because the flexibility of these elbows is not great anyway, right? So it's nothing to write home about. And then the wrist has the forward backwards, and it does have the rotation, but of course, you know, we've got some impedance that happens here, but no big deal. I love the sculpted detail in this. It still shows through, and kind of shows through in some places even better because we've got the black, and we're not worried about too much like thick paint that can fill in some of the detail. I appreciate that he took the time to, you know, paint the braids, right, to make sure that they were also in disguise. You don't want anybody recognizing those. Oh, those are Boba Fett's braids. How did you get those? Wait, you are Boba Fett. So blaster goes into the holster very well. This does kind of ride loose, but it doesn't really have anywhere to go. Slightly up, slightly down, but nothing really. It stays in place. Flexibility would be good if not for this holster on the side, right? So the holster does kind of get in the way for the other leg. Forward, not much movement because this pouch hits this one. Backward, also not much movement, but we do have the upper thigh rotation. We've got the double knee going on there, and it does work very well as far as limbering up. So pretty good, right? It, like I said, multiple times already, nothing special. Forward, not great on the foot, but back is good, but it does have ankle breaker. Same on both sides. But really what I wanted to do is just take a look at this figure together so we can all see if anything really changed or what we're dealing with, you know, because it's a very cool figure, and it seems to be one that has turned out to be kind of difficult to get a hold of. So I wanted everybody to have a chance to see if it's something that they feel like it's worth going on that hunt for, right? Keeping an eye out on Hasbro. But there we go. He definitely stands well on his own. Let's try and see how he stands with his rocket pack. You know, does it still work pretty well? How's his balance? Oh yeah, look at that. Didn't even have to mess with him at all. So the center of gravity still works pretty well. I appreciate that the rocket pack kind of leans inward. So yeah, even with that initial stance, he still works pretty well. Didn't have to do anything to convince him to stay put. So there we go, and we'll be right back with some 360s. All right, and here we have it, our Hasbro Star Wars Black Series 6-inch scale Boba Fett in disguise, properly painted black, all cast black plastic, right? So there's no paint apps that I could see on this thing, but I think it's a fantastic figure. It's a Boba Fett, right? There's nothing special or new about it, beyond the fact that it is him from that series where he painted himself black to be in disguise. It's a difficult one to get a hold of, but we've taken a closer look to see if it's something that you are interested in adding to your collection. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks. Hey everyone, we are currently running our Arrive Serpentor Arrive giveaway, where we are giving away one Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Serpentor with Air Chariot. All you have to do is comment on this video to be entered to win. Each video during the giveaway period will have a secret keyword shared within the video, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Because the first person to comment that keyword gets pinned to the top of the comments and gets 2 entries for that video. A special thank you goes out to all of you for making it possible for us to be able to already start giving back. Okay, well that about does it for this one. Thank you for checking us out and for joining us on this collecting journey as always. And look for at least 2 new videos each week, if not more. And if you got something from today's episode and you haven't already done so, please subscribe and click that like button. It would really help us out at the channel, and it would truly mean a lot to me personally. And if you'd like to see some more videos, there are a couple of quick links on your screen right now for you to check out. But no matter what, as always, thank you for taking the time. And remember, we are all in this world of collecting together. Let's look out for each other. Thanks.